Hey, what's up? This is your girl Diamond. I am the host of Marsha's Play podcast and the executive director of Black Trans Women's Inc. And we are going to talk about Donnie McClurkin's interview with TVOne. Hey Dante, how are you? How is everybody? I hope y'all are doing well. I want to talk about this because I was going to talk about it yesterday, but it was Easter. And I was like, let me let these Christian folks make it. Hi, Will. How are you? But it is not Easter today. So, we want to see what the tea is. Hey, Jay. Hey, Reggie. How are you? Reggie, did you watch the whole video? I left it up for you. Hey, you caught me right before I was headed out to grab food. Work. Mm-hmm. Yes, 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 yes. I just came in. I went to get some miso sea bass and some truffle fried rice. It was so good at this restaurant here in Houston called 400 Sage. Hey Coco, how are you? So this conversation is going to be, mm, I don't know. I find it interesting. I think Donnie McClurkin and many of the people like preachers and stuff that I knew or heard about growing up. I think that this is something that they struggled with, but they never were able. I think open gay people have given people like Donnie McClurkin room to share their truth, but they to share their truth but not live their truth. They can, but they're choosing not to live it. So I want to talk about that and explore that. This interview was on TVOne. I don't think they have released snippets to promote it, but this is one particular snippet that I want to kind of discuss. Hey, Amara. Hey, Darnell. Yes, 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 yes. So let me get right on into it. So let me preface this conversation because I know there might be some troll people or some just homophobic, ignorant people that might run across this video. This ain't the place for you, baby. This is a pro gay, a pro trans, pro lesbian, pro LGBT space. This is not even pro, like fucking super, super queer space. So if you on here just trying to hate and you want to comment on this video, just being a dick, you're gonna get blocked. You're wasting your time. Don't nobody give a fuck about what you got to say here. You ain't gonna change nobody. You ain't been changing nobody. Get the fuck out of here. So let me preface this conversation with that. Because I don't give a fuck. And I'm pretty sure that people who like watching me don't give a fuck about your opinions about people's sexuality and gender identity and, what's going on in their bedrooms and how they live their life. We don't care. Just so you know. So save your breath. Go over to, you know, Republican Twitter and um, fundamental evangelical Christian Twitter and YouTube, though, all that shit. Go over there with that because they like to hear that. They like, they feel great about demonizing people despite what would Jesus do. So, yeah, so I wanted to preface the conversation with that. We don't care. And then I also want to preface the conversation with the defining what's a choice. in homosexuality. I think a lot of people confuse what part is the choice when we're talking about certain things that revolve around sexual orientation. Now, if you didn't know, I am a trans woman. There is a difference between gender identity and sexual orientation. This conversation is not about gender identity. This conversation is about sexual orientation. It's just being had and led by a trans woman of color. Okay? So when I talk about homosexuality, I'm talking about in the sense of sexuality. I do not equate gender identity with sexual orientation. Just so we're clear, I'm just having the conversation because I can talk about anything that I want to talk about. So, yes, so I am a trans woman having a conversation about homosexuality. Got it? So I want to make that very, very clear. Also, so let's talk about choice. But this also is this choice conversation is relevant to gender identity as well. But we're talking about it in the context of sexual orientation. So, what is a choice? What is a choice is the actual acting on your desires, the actual action, the actual behavior of having sex with somebody of the same sex, okay? Or of the same gender. In this case, I might be using those, conflating those. Actually saying, oh my God, I'm a dude and I'm attracted to this dude, so I'm going to act on that attraction. That actually is a choice. What is not the choice is the attraction. The me opening my eyes and I'm a dude, say that I'm a dude. We already established what's up. But so when I say that, I'm just using that example. I'm a dude and I look at a guy. This part that makes my erection come, that gets me hot and bothered, the actual attraction to a dude is not the choice. For some reason, scientists and psychologists and psychiatrists and research, they can't narrow it down to just one simple thing. So anybody tell you that they've narrowed it down, they have not. They can't narrow it down to one specific thing, but they believe that it's a combination of biology and environment. Not no fucking traumas around sexuality, is around like sexual traumas and shit like that. That can be a part, but it's not necessarily a part at all. So it's a combination of multiple things. It's a combination of, biology and environment. That's just like anything that had to do with our natural self and behavior, blah, blah, blah. It's a combination of the inside of us and the outside of us working together, and boom. And so the actual attraction to a dude, if you're a gay man, the actual attraction, that part is not a choice. But you do choose to act on that attraction. Okay? Because you could choose to say, I am attracted to this dude, but I'm not going to choose to act on that attraction. I can't control that when I look at men, I am turned on by them. I can't control that when I see a dude just walking down the street and he got this fat ass booty and he got this body, he got this cute ass face, his cute ass lips. I can't control that I want to fuck that nigga. I want his dick in my mouth. I want his dick in my butt. I want my dick in his butt. I can't control that. It's just something that, like, you get to salivating. That part can't be controlled. But I can say, you know what? I'm attracted. I'm turned on, but I'm not going to act on this. You see the difference in the choice of that? You can choose to act, and you can choose not to act. So when we talk about Donnie McClurkin, and we talk about, and he's not the only one. Been there's been tons of people that are kind of speculated. Do I want to mention people's name haven't come out? No. So there's tons of queer people that's connected to church culture, particularly Black church, connected to church culture that everybody is like, yeah, you got a wife, but yeah, you got kids, but you know, especially the past, that you know, that we kind of can sense something, but nobody has come out and blah 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 blah. So when we have somebody like Dr. Clarkland saying, you know, I've tried out being with women. I've tried to fake the funk, and I just can't fake the funk. It's just I've never had one that I connected with like that. And yeah, I had dreams of being married and being a father and being all of these things, but that's just not gonna work out for me. I can't really fuck with it like that. And I'm just gonna choose to be alone. I'm gonna do what I need to do to choose to be celibate. I'm gonna choose to just live my life and, just live in the joy. I think he said that he has joy. You may not, happy is just what's happening, but I think I'm paraphrasing, but he has joy. I'm just going to live in this joy of the Lord, and it is what it is. So why I named this video like is Donald McClurkin doing gay right? It's kind of like a tongue-in-cheek question, because I find it to be a different types of people when it comes to, how they live like their homosexual life, if they are a Christian, if they are in religions that are like that, like Muslim or, Abrahamic religions. And so I see one that is like living their truth. The choice is living your truth and acting on your truth. Living their truth and practicing a homosexual courtship and love. So I'm a Christian, but I am living my truth. I'm being open and honest about it, and I'm going to have a boyfriend. I'm still gonna go to church. I'm still gonna be believing in God. It's just I think that whatever y'all talking about is wrong, and I just can't see that God would condemn me for just loving another person. I still want to live my life right. But, this part of the quote unquote living right, I don't think y'all got it right. I'm going to I'm going to love who I love. We're going to get married. We're going to be together. We're going to be committed. We're going to praise God, and we're going to do our thing. So that's the type of person that's living their truth and practicing homosexuality and courtship and love. And then there's another type of person that is living their truth, which I deem like Donald McClurkin kind of, where they're living their truth, but they're not practicing homosexuality, and they're being celibate, and they feel that there is a guilt, that there is a sinfulness to it, so they're not going to act on it. So they're not going to practice homosexuality. They're not going to, actually make the choice to act on the behavior. And then we have the ones that are living their truth and then rejecting Christianity altogether, where I'm gay. That shit y'all talking is whack. I'm not gonna even fuck with y'all like that. I reject y'all. There's been tons of trauma around y'all that I don't like, so I don't even feel welcome in this house. I don't even feel welcome in this group. I don't feel welcome in this religion. So I'm not gonna fuck with it. I'm gonna live my life and go find myself a spiritual home that accepts me, that affirms me, that loves me, that makes me feel like I belong, and not this one that condemns me to fire and brimstone and the fate of two cities, Sodom and Gomorrah, blah, 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 all this kind of shit. So all this rhetoric around you know, anti-gay shit. I don't even want to fuck with it. So I'm going to live my truth outside of Christianity and go do my thing. And then there's one who I'm not going to live my truth at all. I have these attractions inside of me, but I'm going to constantly repress it. I'm going to constantly hide it. I'm going to constantly deny it. And I'm going to pretend that these attractions are not in me. And I'm going to marry women, even though I'm not attracted to women. I'm going to perform masculinity in a way that pleases the church home that I'm in, that pleases God, who I think God is. I'm gonna perform manhood and masculinity. Now, I'm saying this from a male lens, but all of this can be flipped to like a lesbian to a woman lens. I'm going to perform manhood and masculinity in a way that allows me to blend in with cis heteronormativity. I'm going to get a wife. I'm going to be married. I'm going to, just pretend. And so, and that make me particularly vulnerable to my shortcomings in willpower. It can make me particularly vulnerable to times when I'm acting on my inner attraction out of, it's this anything that kind of taboo can kind of be tantalizing, and I might sneak and go do some stuff on the low, i.e. like a DL dude, but we'll talk about it in context of church. I might hook up with people on the low, but I'm never going to openly live my truth in regards to that. Let me see what y'all over here saying. I'm heading to work, so these are my thoughts. Donnie perpetuates the Christian hate that oppresses queer folks, so I don't feel sorry for him, even though these ideals are imposed upon him, too. Exactly. One guy posted your back on camera munching tray a few years back and gagged the church folks. I wonder who that was. I heard about it. I can't remember his name. Hey, Marissa, how are you? I'm 3, but does God still know? Jesus keeps his ear to the streets. Like, it doesn't make sense if being gay is an attraction to the same sex, whether you're fucking or not. That's a good question. That's a good observation. Not question. That's a good observation, Ty. Like, is being gay the actually acting on it? Is it just the attraction being there? So that nuances it a little bit, because what if if you say you're a woman and I haven't acted on being with a woman, but the attraction to women is there, but I've never slept with a woman. I've only been with men, only have made the decision to be with men. Yeah, I'm attracted to women, but I think it's wrong, so I don't do it. But I'm also attracted to men, so technically I'm bisexual. So I just work on the attraction to men. I don't really act on my attraction to women because, I'm Christian and I think homosexuality is wrong. So I just do this. So technically, as far as her actions are concerned, she's only been in heterosexual sex, but also technically her attraction is bisexual. You know what I'm saying? Does that count? Does that count? Like, if she is rejecting the label of bisexuality and also rejecting the action, does the attraction constitute the label automatically? Like, and then you know how it gets funny with labels. Being gay means that the attraction is there even if you don't act on it. One can technically call that bisexual, but well, if a person has an attraction to both genders, I realize that I'm attracted to masculinity. I became attracted to masculine women later in life, but I'm still allergic. Huh? Um, I don't know. I think that's another. It's a good that you said. What do you mean by allergic? Allergic to what? Um, I think that's another thing as well. Allergic to puss. You're attracted to masculine women with pussies, but you're allergic to puss if you're attracted to them. I also think that's another thing. I think people also, on both sides, straight and gay, um, I think they put up these rules and these walls and these self intimidations about things to explore stuff. If you're attracted to women, that's I feel like you should be able to explore somebody's body with a vagina and enjoy it. Um, and I think your allergic to pussy isn't real. It's just something that it's just a wall around pussy that you have set up yourself. And I don't think that I think that gay people do the same thing that straight people do once they establish their gayness. Like, especially coming from a young age. Now I think we're more susceptible to not holding on to it. But um, but you know how they say, well, I'm strictly dickly and da 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 da, and because of their homophobia, their aversion to explore something when it does come up. Everybody ain't Niecy Nash, where I have this random attraction to a woman and I give it all I got and go full throttle into this relationship. Sometimes how homophobia works is it sets me up to like I reject it immediately. Even though I have this attraction, I reject it immediately. And I think some gay people do that too, where we all grow up and we say, okay, well, I'm this. I know I'm attracted to dudes. Like me, I know I'm attracted to dudes. And so when I was a little boy prior to transition, that's what it was. I was attracted to boys. I wasn't attracted to girls at all. When I got older and some attractions started to happen with cisgender girls, it almost was like, oh, I've been defending my sexuality for so long that this shakes up the foundation of what I was talking about. Everything that I had talked about and said that this is what it is, or you ain't gonna change my mind. Chicks that would be hitting me up, talk about, oh, how you know you like how you know you don't like vagina, if you never had vagina, da da da, girl, how you know, what, however that works out, all the rebuttal. How you know if you ask if a straight boy say, oh, how you know you don't like pussy if you never had pussy, nigga? How you know you don't like dick if you ain't never had dick? All the rebuttals, the good rebuttals. I was always on it. But it got to a point where it was like, I'm shaking these. Internally, I'm shaking these things up because things that never had happened before in my life started to happen. So in my younger years, I wasn't attracted to girls. When I would meet girls, it would be like, okay, I wasn't attracted to them. And then when I hit like 25, things started to happen. I started to be attracted to vagina and not girls. There would be elements of, I could see myself doing that. I could see myself eating pussy. I could see myself, but I wasn't attracted to, like, I wouldn't see a woman and be like, oh my God, damn, she fine. It wouldn't be anything like that. It would just be the body part of, it would be vagina in porn, like, ooh, that's sexy. Da, 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 da. You feel what I'm saying? It wouldn't. And so those things would start to break down the rigidness of what I felt about my own sexuality. Now, everybody doesn't go through every sexual fluidity like all of us do. You know what I'm saying? Some of us go through it and it's like fluid and always da da da. But some of us don't go through that. Some people, this is what I like, this is what I've been liking, this is what I'm gonna always like. And so I don't want to make it seem like somebody went through what went through. I'm just telling you what I went through. It was there. It hasn't been fluid in the sense of, it hasn't been fluid to the sense of I've acted on. I'm not, I wouldn't be a person who be like, I'm not that type of person, but there has to be a vibe there. And I haven't had a vibe with anybody with a vagina that got to the point where I'm like, ooh, yeah, let's do it. So I haven't got to that point, but I'm not to the point where I'm gonna say that it could never happen or it'll never happen. We'll never do this. I'll never do that. I'm not that person. Because there's some stuff I remember in my 16, 17, 18, I would say I would never fuck a nigga in his ass. And I done fucked a lot of asses and enjoyed it. So there was a time in my life where my rules about my sexuality and what I will and won't do was very, very strict and very, very rooted in cis heteronormativity. This is what a girl does, and this is how a girl performs sexuality. This is how it is. And so I wouldn't get oral. I wouldn't do no poking. I would be the one getting poked or the one sucking some dick. That's how you're supposed to do. It was rooted around male pleasure. It was not rooted in my own pleasure and my own body at all. But yes. So once I got to the point and I had these experiences, I started to have those parameters around sexuality and how I perform sex, how I perform any kind of sexual behavior started to evolve into something a little bit more centered around myself. My transness, because I was always when I was younger, I was always fucking defending my identity. I was always fucking defending my sexuality. You're always defending it because people are telling you, you're too young to know what you talk about. You're too young to have these feelings, or these feelings are a sin. These feelings are invalid, blah, 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 blah. So you constantly like bucking up the system. So there has to be a rigidity. You have to be rigid about it where you're saying like, no, this is what I like. I'm a girl. This is and this is what I like. This has always been what I liked. And so steering from that can kind of shake up the foundation of who you are, shake up the foundation of you convincing somebody, you explaining it to somebody, all that kind of stuff. So there was a resistance to be more fluid because fluidity almost equals invalidating your argument. Fluidity almost made people be like, well, you said that you like mostly boys, but you like girls, so why don't you just act on liking girls? Don't act on that gay shit, because that's a sin. Like it almost was like fluidity will open up the door for them not to understand you and invalidate your whole sexuality altogether. So that fluidity, it almost showing that fluidity would shake up what you were saying to people when you're trying to convince them that what you feel is just uncontrollable. It's that lack of choice. That attraction is lack of choice. Hope that makes sense. And so when I got older and I started to explore and self-reflect and I started to have different sexual experiences, particularly around my personal life and business when I was an escort, um, these things opened up the separation of my mental barriers and my physical, the needs, my economic needs and my romantic needs opened up, started to break down those mental barriers around my sexuality and its connection to cis heteronormativity. It started to be like, this doesn't serve you in the way that you think it serves you. So first of all, let's talk about business when you're escort. Honey, you trying to play all those fishy games. You too fish to do this, you too fish to do that, bitch, you would be broke and not making no money. The point of these men hiring you and spending their money on you is because you got a dick. It might not be for everybody, but usually men who are attracted to trans women and are coming to them for sexual fun is because you got that dick down there, and that makes it sexy. Even if they don't do anything with the penis, that makes them, it's just the fact that it's there. That's the taboo. That's the sexy. That's the difference in the normal. That's what makes it out the box. That's what makes it freaky. Even they could want to suck it. They could want to get fucked by it. They could not want to do anything with it, but it just being there is the attraction. The fact that they can bend you over and it's hanging down. They don't even got to touch it, suck it, do anything like that. Just the fact that it's there. And so if I had these rules, about, oh no, I'm a woman and I can't do that, which I would be broke. I wouldn't make no fucking money. You wouldn't make no money. You might make some, but with these dudes who fucking want to pretend they not into trans women, I like you because, I don't look at you. It's almost like that colorblind shit that white people give. I don't look at you as a trans woman. I look at you as a woman. Then why were you on the TS ads calling the TS ads? Why weren't you calling the sister to one ads? Why are you here on this side of the TS internet? Well, it's just something about. It's always they're. Is that they know that we are trans, so we enjoy the thought of somebody accepting our womanhood, but they also don't understand that our rejection, to me, this is my opinion, I'm not speaking for all trans people, so let me make that, I'm speaking for myself, that a part of that rejection, of a part of that need for you to acknowledge our that, oh, I just see you as a woman, is also internalized transphobia, because it's not okay to be trans. And so until we get to the point where it's okay to be trans, then I can accept you saying, I like you because you're a trans woman. But prior to me accepting the fact that I'm okay with being trans, you just saying, oh, I see you as a woman, it's going to be music to my ears. It's going to be like, oh my God, he sees me as a woman. Blah, 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 blah. Nobody sees me as a woman except for myself. Somebody finally sees me. Garbage. No, that's stupid. It just was stupid to me when I was younger. I was like, I'm not buying into that. Like, I feel like I want my growth in loving myself is I want you to love the fact that I am a trans woman. That's what it is. That's what I'm going to be. That's what I want to be. It's not about, my transition is not about me mimicking cisgender women. It's about me coming into myself and the womanhood that I want to portray to the world, which includes my trans experience. And so in my mind, when you deal with these men, it's because you're dealing with their homophobia in themselves, and then you're dealing with your internalized transphobia. So y'all come together, and it works on some level. Oh, I see you as a woman. Yes, see me as a woman. Da 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 da. But this dude is hiding the fact that he's a homophobe, and not everyone. This is the nuance of fluidity. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not speaking for trans women all over the world. I'm speaking for me. My analysis is sometimes these dudes, because of their homophobia and their fear, they use trans women, not all the time, they use trans women as a gateway, as a supplement to homosexuality. Not all of them. Some of them, they meet you, they think of you as a woman. You tell them you trans, they like, oh wow, I still could do that. You still beautiful to me. Though that's a different type of guy. I'm talking about clients. What I see with clients is they come in and they know what they're looking for. You are a particular type of woman, and this can be a gateway or a supplement to homosexuality instead of actually going all the way and being with a dude. So, and some of them will tell you that, and some of them won't. If you sit down and talk to them long enough, they do tell you. They indicate to you. Because if they thought of you as a cisgender woman, this secret shit wouldn't happen. I think like that with all DL men. I think of that with all DL men. If you thought of me as a cisgender woman, if you thought of me as a woman, you would be treating me like a cisgender woman, but you're treating me like a secret. You're treating me like quasi fucking moto. I'm locked in a cage in your mind, and you bring me out when you can afford my full rate. You can bring me out when you, and this doesn't just go. I think of this just doesn't go with just sexuality. Like this is friendships, this is gay men, cisgender women. Like if you coming up to me and because you know I'm trans, say you're a cisgender girl and I'm a trans girl, and you're being my friend, and how you are extra nice to me because I'm trans, and you're not extra nice to other cisgender girls. Because I'm trans, you extra nice. She's like, oh my God, you look so beautiful. You so pretty. Oh my God. Da, 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 da. Oh, bitch, you look sickening today. Da, 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 da. You are extra nice to me because I'm trans. But when it comes to how you respond to other cisgender girls, you treat them either nonchalantly or you treat them mean. But because I'm trans, you treat me nice. Although I'm trans, I'm going to like it and I'm going to think you cool. You're actually treating me different based on my transness. You're not treating me like a cisgender girl, because if I was a cisgender girl, you would be treating me like a regular girl. If you are a gay boy and you are kikiing with me and you are treating me in a different way than you do a cisgender girl, then you can say out of your mouth, I see you as a woman, but you're not actually treating me the way you would if you met a cisgender girl. You are treating me the way you would if you met a trans girl. And there's a difference. So I'm just talking, y'all. I'm just talking. Y'all are having great conversation. I see. Let me read. You definitely opened me up to this concept. Hey, DeMarcus. I also personally believe in the 80-20 principle, meaning someone can be 80% attracted to one gender, but 20% attracted to another gender. For me, personally, I'm more attracted to males. That makes sense. However, the attraction to females is also there, just not as strong as for males. Yes, and one of the things, the problem that comes with bi erasure, I know patriarchy and anti-LGBT shit, it always is, it loves to erase bisexuality. And the problem with erasing bisexuality is that we don't talk to bisexual enough there's people now talking about it, but talk to bisexual people enough to understand that there is some nuance to their sexuality that you have to understand. It's just not 50-50, like, 50% I like men, 50% I like women. Some people, I have a friend named Queen. She's been on the show. We did a review of It May Destroy You from HBO. That show by Michaela Cole. Is that her name? Yeah. Um, Queen, she's romantically and sexually attracted to men, but she's sexually attracted to women. So she doesn't want to be with a woman romantically, but she likes to be sexually involved with them. And that's a nuance that you kind of got to talk about. And I think that there are some dudes like that who are sexually attracted to men, but they want to be with a woman. They are also sexually attracted to women, but they can't, because she's a cisgender girl, my friend Queen, she can actually, she has a little bit more room to play around with those dynamics of her bisexuality. Whereas if she were a man, she wouldn't have the room because, you know, if you're a man and you like men, you just gay. You can't have the nuance of, I just like fucking dudes when I get to, you know, whenever I get the urge to do it. But I actually like women. I'm attracted to women predominantly, but I want to fuck a dude when the time comes, when I'm single. That don't mean I want to cheat on my woman if I'm in a committed relationship. That don't mean bisexuality doesn't mean that, oh, I'm in a committed relationship and I'm going to automatically want to sneak off and do secret stuff. No, I could be committed to this relationship and I still be attracted to whoever I'm attracted to, but I'm not going to act on that because I am in this committed relationship. And so it's so many things that we erase when we erase bisexual people and their experiences and don't actually believe them when they say I'm bisexual. Wherever range I am, whether it's 70, 30, 80, 20, 90, 10, however that is. Okay, I also think because he is a certain age, he doesn't have a lot of option for male partners if he wanted one. Dating in the gay male community is super hard. I think that is true. I think uh it's see I I don't think that is. I don't think once you get past the age of um, what I know that there's a social age. Oh, when you get over 35, you over the hill in the gay community. I know that there's an element of desirable politics around that, but I also think that it's tons of people past 35 that are looking to partner, that are out here. So I know that he can find somebody if he wanted to be open, and he is famous and rich. So those are elements that give him social capital to find somebody if he wanted to find somebody. It's not just because he's old. Age doesn't make you you're not totally kicked out. That's not the only thing. Being young is not the only thing that gives you points towards somebody being desirable. I know it can be a part of it, but it's not the only thing. We used to debate this all the time growing up. You did not want no backs. No, I did not. No, thank you. Some gay men redesign themselves to spinsterhood after a certain point because of the few options in the community. What is spinsterhood? What is that? There's some gay men his age among the church he dates. Yes, absolutely. Child, he is not about to find a partner unless he's tricking off coins. The gay community is brutal. There is a gay community past that brutal time, y'all. Like there is a 35 and year up community of gay men that engage with each other. Yes, you can't go into the gay club with the 20, 21-year olds and think you're going to find somebody young and hot. No, but you can, in circle of people in this older circle, find you somebody that's your age that's in that, y'all. Yes, it's brutal if you're an old person trying to be with a young person. But the gay community isn't. I know they make it seem like that, but the gay community isn't just that small, young, youthful gays. Mm. They want you to nut in their face. They want squirters. Brianna, you are like, I'm sorry, I was talking while y'all were doing this. Right, literally Typed in trans. They live for the mind fuck. Yeah, trying to be bottom only means very little money. Absolutely. You're totally right, Ari. They know a lot of us are insecure about our transness and they play on those feelings. Absolutely. They will play if you allow them. Now, lucky for me, I transitioned quite early. And so those games that dudes play, by the time I got in my 20s, I was way over them. I was way over. By the time I particularly got in business, you couldn't sell me no dreams no more. I had already been fed the sun and moon and stars to these young high school niggas, and I didn't believe you when you told me shit. So get the fuck out of here. I was no longer in that regards being able to be fooled by the illusion by the time I got in my 20s. Closet hangers, dudes on the low, be looking for a way to express themselves in repressed society and they feel unable to break out. You don't have to feed my fish like that. Yes. And that's another thing I think when you get older in more seasoned in your trans life, and when I say older, I don't mean older like in age, but also just mature. Like um it gets to a you have so many trades. You had from the fine boys to the hood boys to the dope boys to so many people you done dealt with due to it gets to a point where the dude it's not it's not as mm, it's not as tantalizing anymore. Like trade ain't when you had so many boys and you done pulled so many trade, it doesn't have that pull anymore. It just doesn't have that. The girls put stupid shit in their ads like long natural hair. I'm not a man in a wig. I like girls. The clients don't give a fuck. And honey, I know some men. If they look like a man in a wig, they'll go to them just as fast because they think, oh, she not on hormones. That dick gonna work real good. It's gonna get rock hard and shoot so much cum on my face. So, honey, you talk about you a woman and soft and da da da. They gonna think you on hormones and your meat don't work. Wait, I do just gotta scroll up. Let me see. I'm gonna let y'all get ahead of me a lot. Hey, money. So I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Donnie McClurkin is doing gay the way Christians, the ones who hate gay people, want gay people to do gay. They want you to either be celibate and praising the Lord or out. Get out and go be with the heathens and go be with the secular world. Go be with them. But if you're going to stay in here with us, keep that shit. Don't act on it. Be celibate. So I almost feel like he's doing what they want him to do. I feel sorry for Donnie. It's a lonely life, no shade. I couldn't do it. I don't know if it's necessarily lonely because shit, bitch, I'm not in a relationship, and I can be in a I could be in a I feel like I'm getting to that stage where I don't even want to fuck with niggas like that. And so you can get to the point where you have a great community of people around you where you're not lonely. Like you are like you if you're choosing to do this because I don't think it's necessary when you get to a certain age if you if you value this particular life If you value this life, if you value the joy of God, and you believe that, and you really believe that this is wrong and this is your test, then you're dealing with this the way you know how. And if celibacy is how you do it, and you find joy in all the other ways, I don't know if I find fault in that. I feel like if it works for you, go for it. I couldn't, but I'm comparing it to me in the sense of being not in a relationship or not partnered doesn't mean that you are necessarily lonely. Yeah, you have regular trade. So I can. I haven't had trade in a minute, not since earlier this year. But I think anybody can have trade. That's what we were talking. I was talking about earlier. Anybody can have trade. Anybody can come over and spend time with you and have sex with you. That's not hard to get. I feel like the fact that he doesn't live in the fullness of himself and have even his friends accept him for him. But you don't think a part of him coming out with that I have this, like I'm homosexual, I'm just not acting on it. That is him coming out as a homosexual and this is who I am. You don't, and they're like, sure, great. But I'm not acting on it because I think it's wrong, like you think it's wrong. So I'm just living my life. Is he living a lie? Like, and they're not accepting him, or they are accepting him? He's just choosing not to act on it. Like, how are you navigating that in your mind? Because I can see the not living in the fullness of himself, but his friends can accept him. He's not hiding that he's a homosexual. It doesn't feel like he's hiding that. It just feels like I'm not acting on it. So what's the secret of where are they not accepting him? Oh, so I thought that he was a. So I'm confused because I thought that he said that that's something that he's with, but he's not acting on it. He's not doing it. In not this particular interview, in the past, him and homosexuality has been something that he has admitted to. But he has said that it's wrong, and he doesn't. That's not something that he wants to practice. Yeah, that's what I remember. I remember him saying he was gay years ago, but was speaking it in the term of like an affliction. Yes. So admitting that this is something that is in him, but I don't want to act on it. You don't think that there are people that may be, particularly Christian people, who, based on their upbringing, based on their beliefs, that they think that this is wrong. So I guess what I'm asking is, do y'all think that there are gay people who feel being gay is wrong and they're open about that part of it? I'm not secretly doing anything behind the scenes. I'm not repressing anything. I have homosexual attractions, but I'm not acting on them because I think that they are wrong. Do you not? I'm secretly having it behind the scenes. I think it's wrong and I'm not doing it. I think it's a problem that I'm working through, that I'll probably be working through for the rest of my life. Do y'all think that is gay people like that? Not hiding. I'm not talking about the people who are secretly sucking dick on the low. I'm talking about people who, no, I'm not hiding shit. I'm not doing anything homosexual, but I have the attraction, but I think it's wrong, so I'm not acting on it. I want to get my life right, and I want to live this righteous life. And my way of getting my life right or being right is not acting on homosexuality and being celibate because I'm not being with a woman because I'm not attracted to women. So I'm not even going to play with her like that. I'm going to say, this is who I am and I'm celibate. I'm going to live in the joy of Christ. Y'all don't think it's people like that? I've never met any. See, I've met some. It seemed like taught self-hatred. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I think when you can get to a point where I don't know. I just think that there's certain people who can get to a point where it's not self-hate. It's my Christian beliefs is this is wrong. So just like if I some other behavior that I have, I think is wrong. My me fornicating, just like a straight dude. Yes, I have urges to um have sex on my wife, but I don't do it because I think that that's wrong. And me personally, as Diamond, I think monogamy is unnatural. I think you it's something monogamy is something that you practice because you want to be committed to a person. But I think monogamy, the behavior of being monogamous is not a natural behavior. I think that we all are attracted to multiple people, but we choose to be with one. So just like a dude choosing who believes that this act of fornication is wrong outside of my marriage, outside of blah 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 blah. I think it's wrong, so I'm not going to do it, even though I want to do it, but I'm not going to do it. That's my natural self to be one of slanging this dick to everybody, but I'm not going to do it. It's not what I want to do. You do feel are the thing you're taught is wrong. Is that not self hate? I don't. I don't know. Maybe I'm just. That's why we're exploring it. Maybe I don't know. I can see it be a point where it's not self hate. I can see a point where I'm gotten to the. I've gotten to the point where I know this is a part of my struggle. I know that this is a part of my struggle, and I've gotten to the point where I got a hold of it. It's not heavy on me where I'm just sneaking off and doing stuff. It's like I don't want to do it, so I'm not going to do it. Um, and I've got a control over it. It's not my hormones ain't raging, and I'm not doing anything. I feel like I've gotten a control over it, where it's not to the point where it's hate. It's just a part of who I am. I don't know. I can see somebody getting to that point. Let's see. So I dated a younger pastor when I was 18, and he was deeply conflicted. He was a beautiful person, and the way he used to touch me was so tender and beautiful that he felt a great deal of guilt and shame. I do think, I think there is a trauma that comes that religion kind of puts into you about shame. I know this dude who was shame, who masturbated and felt shame because of his growing up and how they shamed him. They had caught him masturbating, and I don't know who they is, but I think it was like his family. They had caught him masturbating, and they instilled so much shame in him that even masturbating was shameful to him. I think I think that's all about fear, and For me personally, it becomes lonely. I try to date women that I was actually attracted to, but I felt they felt they smelled it on me and weren't interested. They smelled the femininity, the gayness. Is that what you mean, Demarcus? I personally believe that homosexuality and bisexuality is natural, and that religion in which the gayness, gotcha, tried to demonize. I don't know. It goes back to what I was talking about earlier, as far as we are all under these rules, and so I don't know. I think that there's some straight cishet women that look at men, that look at gay men, how cishet men look at gay women, like a conquest. So I know some women that will fuck a gay man just because you gay, and I want to see if my pussy will turn you out, or my pussy can make you nut, or is my pussy good to you. I think that there are some cishet women that will fuck around with a gay dude just because of the conquest. In the same way, heterosexual men do studs and shit. Yes, I did watch Niecy Nash and Red Tabletop. I thought it was beautiful. I just watched it and I was so happy watching it. It made me warm and fuzzy. And Jessica is so cute. um, it just made me happy watching it. But I also do y'all find this sense of, I've heard lesbians talk about this, but I don't know. I find this sense of there is a rejection of labels, and but there is a, like, people. Oh, I don't want to be called a lesbian, even though I'm a woman dating another woman. I don't like labels. It seems like labels. I don't know. It feels like you're only rejecting the label because of the negativity that comes with the label. Oh, I don't want to be called a lesbian. I don't want to be called. I just want to be me. Yeah, I get it, but what's wrong with lesbian? What's wrong with being gay? What's wrong? I don't know. I don't know. I don't. Somebody don't want to be called something. That's great. But there seems to be this weird thing about rejecting a label just because, I don't. It feels like you're trying to avoid what comes along with that label. I've seen the yeah, I've seen this. I've seen this around lesbians. I've seen this around, and then I get there's some non-binary people talking that lesbianism is rooted in the binary. It's rooted in man woman. Like, you to be a lesbian, you have to be a woman attracted to a woman. Blah 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 blah. So it's rooted in the binary. So if I'm a non-binary person trying to dismantle the binaries, lesbian just does not work. That makes intellectual sense. It makes sense, but but if I want to be called a lesbian, and I'm proud to be a lesbian, I'm going to use lesbian, and that's okay for me to use lesbian. And if you are rejecting lesbian just for the fact, if you're on that identity shit, cute. But if you're rejecting lesbian just for the sake of not wanting to get the negatives that comes with that label, I think that's fake. I get it in the sense that people get tired of political baggage that come with certain label, but you still are going to carry the political baggage though. Like I can say, oh, I'm not trans, I'm just a woman. I'm not trans, I'm just a woman. I'm still going to deal with the baggage that comes along with being trans. Ugh. Oh, that is an amazing. I had this great conversation with Queen. Me and Queen called each other probably like a month ago. They did a Tea with Queen and Jay did a video, did a episode called Everything Gender or Everything something the gender episode or something like that, and one of the elements, the conversation was annoying the fuck out of me. Like they were having problem with some of some people were having problem with the language that they were using, and I'm like, and I was like, maybe I'm just privileged. I felt like folks was being petty and stupid, but that's not my place to be. Just because it doesn't offend me doesn't mean it doesn't offend other people. And it was multiple people who were offended by the language that they were using. So, cool. Like maybe I'm just speaking from my privilege, whatever. But some of the shit that they were saying was like, I needed to talk to them. So me and Queen talked privately, and amongst multiple things that we talked about, that I don't want to talk about publicly, but one of the things that I can talk about publicly is if we expanded what it means to be a man and woman, it would eliminate a lot of our problems with the binary. If we expanded what woman is, expanded what man is, those labels would be more comfortable. It's because we are trying to minimize it that the labels become like, ooh, what the Oprah meme, ooh. Mm. Yeah. I think if you expand it, to, it's like one of the reasons why, butch lesbians don't feel comfortable with that or blah, 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 is because you're saying that a woman is this dainty pink thing. When womanhood, take gender identity out of it. Take the trans element out of it, the non-binary element out of it. There are so many types of women who identify as women who you try to police out of the word woman. There are so many types of men, but because I think even stricter than women, but because they don't fit in a certain box, but they identify as a man. Like they don't even have the gender identity issue. It's like, but because I don't perform this fucking rough, ashy ass, ankly ass, hard ass ankle, Paul Bunyan ass, flannel wearing, smell like wood and smoke, cigars ass nigga, masculinity, because I don't do that, then I don't fit in this man. And so I think one of the problems is that we don't expand those labels. We don't expand those labels. But I think that is what non-binary folks, the work of non-binary folks is trying to do is kind of, but sometimes they don't go about it the right way, I don't think. But that's not my place to tell them. That's them. I like saying I'm queer because I'm not just this and not just that when it comes to my sexual activity and identity. Queer feels more freeing. Absolutely. Queer does feel more freeing. It's more encompassing. And I don't have the history with the word queer. Like some people, people is like queer has a name, is a slur and blah 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 blah. Where I grew up, queer wasn't a slur like that. Like they would call you a fucking faggot. They wouldn't call you a queer. I didn't get that was very white to me. I didn't really get white boys might call you a queer, but it wasn't where I grew up. Queer wasn't something that people called you as a derogatory slur. But yeah, I like queer. Queer has settled quite nicely. I like trans. I like queer. I like woman. I'm a queer trans woman of color. I'm a black queer trans woman. Those are my themes. I think that it is on Prime Video. Yes, let's see. Oh my God, yes, please. Label yourself a lesbian if you are being with a woman. If you have children, you're not a woman because you're kind of big. You are bisexual. But I think that's another. But we've seen this particularly around bisexual women and bisexual men. We is that rejection of lesbianism and rejecting of the gay label. I think it's rooted why that like you'll have this gay dude who only fucks with dudes, but when you ask him what his sexuality is, he says bisexual. I'm like, when a lot what I ain't never seen you out on a date with a woman at all. I ain't never seen you talking about being attracted to no woman at all. Not saying that it's not existent, but it feels like you accepting the bisexual label is because you're rejecting the gay label. Now it could be, well, I'm just 10% attracted to women and I'm 90% attracted to men. So more than likely you're not gonna see me when I have my moments attracted to women. And that could be true. But it just always feels like that you're just rejecting homosexuality. And then it just always feels like that. I'm like, you say you bisexual, but you never deal with the opposite sex. It's always a strange, like, okay, that's strange to me. These people make people feel like there is no bisexual community. Yeah, I try not to do that, but sometimes they be confusing me. I know bisexuality exists, but honey, I want to. Where's the bisexuality? I have an amazing woman that I want to introduce you to, and you don't ever try to. You don't ever. I see you on Jack. You never on the straight sites. You always on Jack. I don't see you on POF. I don't see you on Tinder. I don't see you on none of that. You on Jack and Grinder. That's all I see you on. The bisexuals in high school were the stepping stone for them being fully gay. Not always, but they seem to progress from bisexual to gay and lesbian. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. We talked about it. Supplemental patriarchal pandering. Yes. Where is the bisexual community? I feel like they are. I feel like they're always all around. You know that been these statistics coming out that they're the largest part of they're the largest part of the LGBT community, the bisexual community. Yeah, but they're the least out. I came out as bisexual, knowing full well it was a lie. My grandmother told my mother. I think if y'all remember in my mother's interview My grandmother told my mother that I was bisexual, and I was like, "Mama, I didn't tell her that at all. I ain't never claimed no bisexual. No, never." According to the stat, the B makes up 57% of the LGBT community. Yes, they just not the most vocal. You don't see them. But we are the L, right? Only 10%. Yeah, all that sounds weird. That's true. We are always around. And then don't get me to talking about the DL people. I ain't never, ever, ever, ever heard a dude who dates trans folks, a dude who dates trans women, um, use the label bisexual. They might mention it in private, like if y'all breaking it down and having that deep conversation on if they gay or not. They so what do you consider yourself? Oh, I'm just me. I'm just me, yo. I like you. They giving all that. They will give you. They will not. They will totally reject. Especially when you won't let them just settle on the I'm straight. I think of you as a woman. I'm straight. Uh, but you fucking burping and gargling my meat, sweetie. And you're into it. So I'm not gonna call you gay. I'm not because that's not I don't feel that's what you are. But I feel like there is some you queer, bruh. I feel like queer is where you can settle in and be cozy in that. I'm loving the hair. Thank you, Micah. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm trying to be like Money. Money cut all her hair off. I'm trying to give my lesbian look. um, yeah, I don't know. I don't like to be in that situation where you straight, but you on the dating side. I be trolling the hell out of them. Yes, God. I wear them out. Like I don't want you to. I'm no longer interested in people who are trying to live. I'm no longer interested in somebody with a weak ass mind. I feel like that is what defines you as a man. I feel like, as a not just as a man, that's patriarchal. but I date men, so that's why I said that. I think what defines you as a strong, independent minded human motherfucker is being able to say, this is who I am. This is what I like. This is what I do. These are my beliefs. Right now, they may change, but right now, this is my beliefs. I can talk about them. I can be about it. And I can do what the fuck I want to do. Because I don't give a fuck. This is me. That's when you come into your own, man. We wait for you over here in the L's. Baby. Every time I meet a lesbian, like I went to there's a club out here called Pearl out on Washington. It's the lesbian bar here. So every time I go out there, baby, when I meet a lesbian I like and I tell them my tea, first of all, I'm not a person that comes on to people. I like to be chased. I like to be but anytime a lesbian comes on to me and they assume that I'm cis, baby, when I tell them my tea, baby, they turn into a butch queen. For some reason, when I tell a lesbian my tea and tell them I'm trans, they turn into, yes, honey, I didn't even know. You're fierce. You're sickening, girl. They turn into RuPaul Drag Race, honey. And I'd be like, okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Uh-huh. They do not give me, they do not, that's where it ends. That is where it ends. Or it's two things. It's either that or they treat me like they treat me like they treat me like dudes back in high school when they like me. Like it becomes a secret. It becomes a, oh, I ain't never did that before. Damn, that's kind of interesting. But I ain't gonna be over here talking to you. But I'm gonna try to sneak and talk to you. It turned into like they down low and ashamed that they might be attracted to a trans woman. So, but I want you to get my mindset because I'm not all the way there myself. But it's interesting. So I'm I'm to the point where, oh, I'm going in this space. Normally I would be like, oh, no. Oh, you ain't got to worry about me. I'm not into you, y'all type of people. But because I'm trying to open and expand my horizons, I don't go in it saying, no, I'm not interested. If they try to holler, I'll be like, yes, I'm diamond, da 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 da. And we'll lead into the conversation where my tea will come out. And so to see where it goes. Honey, they either treat you like a butch queen or they treat you like a down low nigga. Like, oh, I'm a lesbian. I can't have people thinking that I'm attracted to a trans woman. When I do that, we usually end up drunk and in kissing. But Ty, you have always been into lesbians. You have always been more fluid than me. You've dealt with trans men, lesbians, butch queens, a boy drag queens. You've done everything. Bumping pocketbooks. Yes, honey. I can't. I don't know. I just haven't I haven't met one that I vibe with on that kind of level. I'm tired of people treating us like we're aliens that we want. Hey Zay, how are you, baby? Xavier, we're alien that wants to fuck them. That's it. So hard. Look past it. That's so hard to look past it. Oh, Kai is an MVP. Honey, she's been like that since we were younger. She has been free and enjoying her things. She has been free. I was the more not stuck up, but I was the more prudish in regards to exploring. Yeah. I remember there was this little lesbian that used to come to the cabaret that I was so attracted to. She was so cute and she used to flirt with me. But every time I would flirt back, she would be like she would make it seem like she would act all coy and weird. And I'd be like, oh, did I say something wrong? Oh, okay, I must have said something wrong. And so then she'll come flirt some more and then I won't say anything. And then she'll flirt, and then I'll say something back, and she'll be like, "It was so strange. She was so strange for me." I'm attracted to women, so I'm attracted to trans women because they are women. I hate the cis lesbian be giving us all a bad name. Yes, there. Uh, what else? The coyness be getting me. Yes, it'd be weird. I don't know how to navigate that. Cis men are so easy. You be like, what that dick looking like? What that dick looking like, bruh? Come on. What's up? They're so much easier. Or maybe that's an illusion. I don't know. But yes, they are so basic. It makes them easier to navigate. Try to holler at a girl, didn't know her T, and she was like, I'm trans. And I was like, okay. I still want to holler. Yes. You talk about the weather with cis men and they get hard. Yes, honey. Oh my God, the sun is shining. Are you horny? No, it's the sun. It's beautiful. Vitamin D. I got vitamin D. Baby. Yeah, they're so much easier to navigate. So there's a chick now. So the first time she messed with a girl, I'm the one who hooked her up with a girl. So she's actually the first person that I've been in like a threesome with a cisgender girl with. Her name is Monique. And the girl I hooked her up with was a stud lesbian named Trina. And I think she was trying to hook up with me when I was younger, but she didn't know how to come out and ask me. And I definitely wasn't ready at that time, ready at all. So when she was trying to, she'd be like, me. That's what it felt like. I'm like, She used to be so extra, and we finally found each other on Facebook in 2020. And I love her. She was like, "I've missed you so much," and we talked, but we talked about her trying to come on to me and shit, and we laughed about it. It was funny. I think the key to flirting with lesbians is being super direct. Really? Now, see, that's the thing about it, money. I think with lesbian, like a cisgender lesbian to another cisgender lesbian, I think that works. But with us, there is this turfy mentality that our super direct comes from us used to be men, used to be male, and so we come on like it's some weird turfy thing that doesn't allow us to be as direct with the same thought process. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Your husband, baby, right? A lot of trans women are direct. Hmm. But I think, and that's another thing, Zay. I don't know if we ain't talked in a minute, so I don't know what you're identifying as now. You get real fluid with me, so I don't know what you identify as now. But I think when the last time we talked, you was identifying as a trans masculine person, and I think that trans women can be direct with y'all. Yeah, trying to act like a dude, predatory lesbian. Yes, I think I've seen trans women be very direct with like trans masculine folks. I don't think I've ever seen a trans woman try to holler at a lesbian, like with my own eyes. I've seen a lesbian try to holler at a trans woman, and it was always a curve in the moment. But I've never seen a trans woman try to holler. I mean, I've seen a lesbian try to holler at a trans woman, and that was a curve. And then I've never seen a trans woman try to holler at a lesbian in my face, like me watching it go down. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen it, but I have seen. Trying to think of shit. I barely can navigate butch queens. I just be, I don't know. My brain don't be working. I barely know when butch queens want to have me because sometimes they be playing weird and acting stupid too. Sometimes you don't know. You They be acting like your sister, honey, and Kiki and y'all going to the club, blah 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 blah. They take you home, and then when they get by yourself, they turn into the trade. You be like, what? Where did this come from? I've had that experience. Yeah, it's hard for me to know what people are into because they'll be lying too. Butch queens will lie about being into trans women as well. So strange. I think we need to thank the strap on industry for blessing us. Oh, but yes. I live for when the Butch Queens do that. I do not live. It throws me off. I don't know. It's something about my personality. I want you to be consistent. If you're acting like my sister and Kiki and yes, I compartmentalize people. And so, and that may be my problem. But if you're giving me yes, honey, girlfriend, girl, child, I'm not thinking of you in any kind of sexual way. I'm thinking of that's my Judy. We like the same type of dude. But but I've had it where they're giving me yes, da, 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 and then honey, they turn into the trade. I'm like, mm-mm, mm-mm. What's the actual definition of a butch queen? Butch queen, like trade, has many connotations, but the connotation that I'm using it in now is just a regular gay man. Um, they don't have a particular look. Um, there's some stereotypes that you can attribute to a butch queen, but just think of your stereotypical gay man. That's what I'm talking about. And that's the context I'm using butch queen in. But yes, I just treat the church queens like DL niggas. Yes, definitely. What was your definition? I could Google, but I was asking more a opinion based answer. Yes, yes. I just think of it like a typical gay man, butch queen. Sometimes feminine, sometimes masculine. Not necessarily masculine. You don't like a twist. No, I don't. I like it to be. I don't know. I like a consistent person. I don't know. It might be my own personal issues, but I like a consistent person. I like you to be just First of all, I'm attracted to masculinity, so that's number one. I'm attracted to masculinity. So if I'm with a chick, if I'm gonna ever be with a chick, it's gonna be a masculine chick. It's gonna be probably a stud. It's gonna be somebody masculine, fade. Um, yeah, it has to. I'm attracted to masculinity, so it's gonna have to be that. Oh, definitely, definitely not. I definitely wouldn't do a film top. um, definitely not. Definitely not. I have done a film Butch Queen. I have. I've messed around, but it's certain things just happened. It wasn't like just certain situations. Just it usually involved trade. It involved, you get what I'm saying? Could you be with a stud trans woman? No. No. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. I think I'm attracted to a femme essence. I don't know how to explain it because high femme presenting usually isn't my thing, but femme presenting usually, but masculine presenting girls who are low key femme. Woo! Yeah, I can't. The whole, oh God, this is gonna sound transphobic as fuck, but it is what it is. The whole tits and dick thing, I'm not into it. I, and that seems that's what I'm presenting, but I don't want to experience that. I don't. Maybe because I that's what I'm given, so I don't want to. That's not what I'm looking for. So no, thank you. That I don't find that to be, you know, appealing. I don't find that to be um you know I just I don't find that to be appealing at all. I find I would my mindset is very that I want you to be either or. I want you to be, the whole mixing up that even personality. I don't like the whole that's it. That's it. I don't like the twister stuff. I like categories and boxes. Oh, you would think I wouldn't, but I do. I like my people in categories and boxes. That's just how it works. I really don't blame you. There's a different addiction to the different types of persona. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, and that's probably why if you money, that's why I'm over here with the dudes. The dudes are so easy. They come with their shit. It's not that they don't come with their stuff. I just feel like dudes are easier to handle, and it might be because of practice, are just easier to mentally handle. Like I know what as soon as I talk to a dude, I know what I'm getting into. I know what's happening. It's the uh cisgender woman or a lesbian or something on that side, even anything assigned female at birth, it feels um like I am walking into a mental field of landmines. It feels like at any moment I'm gonna step on something and it's gonna and it's gonna turn me off. It's gonna, I don't know. It just wears me out. I can't explain it. You are really a Pisces. Categories and boxes, really. Yeah, it's just something about that. It makes it easier for me. But I'm also be wise. I'm a Pisces, but my moon is in Capricorn. That can explain it to you. That can explain it to you a little bit better. I'm a Pisces, so I'm a dreamer and all these things, but my moon is in Capricorn. So it makes me a different kind of Pisces than you might be used to. Which is why people, why people be like, you a Pisces? Yes, I am. But my moon is in Capricorn. I like things, down to earth. You are afraid a cis woman is going to try to ride your face. Actually, be wise. This is the flip side of it. I much rather that's actually what I want to happen. I want my first time just to be sexual. I don't want it to be this whole thing that I feel like I got to go through. This is why men are easy, because if I want to have the sexual experience, I can just be like, yo, what's up? Da 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 da. But with chicks, it's just weird. And then, like, for example, so on my dating app, I'm on this dating app and I put that I was bisexual. Every time a chick hits me up, we gotta play this weird fucking game. Like it's these weird ass fucking, like, it's them talking, but they're trying to find somebody to fuck with a nigga with. That's one thing. They gotta find out. They're trying to find a third with their nigga, or they're too aggressive. Like they're too aggressive, and meaning that they're not giving me room to negotiate what I want to do. Like like this one girl hit me up, which it's not that they're no. It's not that they're too aggressive. That's the wrong thing to say. What it is they're not giving me room to negotiate what I want to do. And so they'll hit me up and they'll say, damn, what you doing, baby girl? Oh, I'm chilling. Oh, well, shit, let me come over there and suck that pussy. Now, if that was a dude and he's that would be cool. So, cool, we getting right to it. Cool. Well, first I gotta tell you I don't have a pussy and you trying to come over here and suck my pussy. So I gotta tell you that I'm trans. Then when I tell you that I'm trans, are you gonna be down with it or not down with it? Da 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 da. Then if you are cool with it, where does the conversation go? I don't really have no interest in fucking no pussy. And usually, if we exchange pictures or we change da 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 da, they'll go into this wanting to fuck me, and I don't want to fuck you. I want to eat your pussy. So if I just want to eat your pussy, can we do that? I've never got to that point. It's always a weird something happened where we stop talking, or it's always this strange ass. It never gets to that point where we don't get to negotiate what I want to do, because what I want to do ain't usually what they want to do. I hope that makes sense. So I wish that they were more direct like that. Be wise. It would make it much, much more easier. But then you also got to understand. You also got to understand that I'm also not attracted to everybody either. So sometimes the girls who do come on to me I'm actually not attracted to them. I'm like, I'm actually not attracted to you. I seem to attract a lot of light skinned bitches. I'm not really into light skinned bitches. If I'm gonna be with a chick, she's gonna be a chocolate girl. She's gonna be, you know, I like contrast. So just like I like dark skinned dudes, I like dark skinned chicks. So if I'm gonna be with a, if I'm gonna mess around, I want a young Ma type girl. No, young Ma is beautiful, but I would have, but it's gonna be a. Trying to think of somebody who a dark skinned Lena Waithe is gonna be my type. A dark skinned Lena Waithe is gonna be yeah. There's not a lot of popular for me to give y'all a reference. There's not a lot of popular masculine women for first of all. But like a dark skinned Lena Waithe is gonna be my tea. Um not the brat. That is too twistery. Mm-mm. That's too. It's too film for me. I need you to be, yeah, Queen Latifah. No, all the people that y'all would probably name is too. Um, somebody Jessica fine as hell. Jessica fine as hell to me. Ah, beautiful. I see exactly what Nene was talking about. Snoop from The Wire. Dark skinned version of Snoop. Hell yeah, yeah. Dark skinned version of Snoop. Hell yes. Lena's energy is sexy. Young Ma too masculine for me. Yeah, I like Young Ma. Give me a dark skinned version of Young Ma, Lena Waithe. Um, I want you to have a little bit of height. You know how tall I am. Yes, I do know how tall I am. You short. Go lower. Oh, let me see. Oh, young young Gats. Mm, mm, yes, yes. Some of these, but she kind of pretty too. I need you to have yeah, some of these pictures, like this picture, I don't know. I have to see her swag. Y'all know Juice Box? Yeah. What is this? Yeah, this is giving me. Mm-mm. She got a curly. She got a. She's giving you. Um. What's it called? She's giving you. Tracy Ellis Ross hair. No. She's giving me, honey, patterns and curls. Let me cut this light. So I'm trying to find people. This. Why is it not zooming in? It's not zooming in for some reason. Oh yeah, that's my type. If they look like that, they fine. Zoom in. I hate that this thing don't zoom in. This. Definitely this. Whatever this, honey, all of this. This. If I see this in a club, baby, I'm down. That that is my type. If I yes, this is my husband. This right here, whatever got what that is my husband. Oh my God, I would be in love. In love. In love. In love. In love. Skylar Cooper. Let me look her up. Oh, yes. Yes. Yes, God. Yes. Yes. If I that yes. Yes. All of that. I need all of that. Yes. Skylar Cooper, that's my type. That's my type of lesbian. I need them to look like that. Soldier Boy, not no, I don't fuck with Soldier Boy. Not Soldier Boy with a tub. Kinda. Yes. I need all of that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes, I need all of that. All of that. Yes, I need all of that. That's making me feel all I need to feel. Hmm. Yes, I need all of that. So if I'm gonna deal with a woman, they're gonna look like, yes, let me go find her Instagram. Let me follow. Mm. Let me follow her Instagram. Is this the right person? This ain't the right person. Mm. It looks like an aunt of mine. Well, your aunt fine. Yeah. So anyway, we are coming up on 2 hours. Let me think how I close this out. Gender and sexuality is complicated. I think that it couldn't be me. I have to be out here free. I have to be out here living on my own terms. And while I also feel that religion, you can be choosing to live on your own terms and by living in a way that you deem is appropriate for your religion. And I think Donnie McClurkin is choosing a way that and I really feel it can be because he has been blessed by his gifts, actually became rich by his gifts, by being a singer and following the path of being this music minister of music on a national scale. I think that also lends it for him to believe that these gifts was given to me as a blessing. So I have to do what I need to do to honor God. A part of I believe that a part of him believing that honoring God is to be celibate and to be who and to live a life of like a eunuch. You know, the Bible talks about the eunuch. It talks about, you castrating yourself for the kingdom of God. I think I think that's a real thing. I think that some people believe that, some people live that truthfully, and so they can choose to not engage and just enjoy the comforts of people outside of romance. And I think that that is possible. That is that can be a healthy way to live. I don't necessarily feel like it is um, repressed. There's a difference between I'm forced into doing something as opposed to I'm choosing to live this way by choice. There's still a freedom in that. I'm choosing to honor God, and so couldn't be me. I feel like religion can be a prison, but I can see the mindset around. Okay, I'm just gonna let it go. I'm just gonna you know live my life how I see fit and do my thing how I do my thing, and God is going to continue to bless me. I can see somebody having that mind. Somebody like Donnie McClurkin having that mindset and feeling that that's okay, as opposed to somebody like me or somebody like y'all that's like, mm-mm. Donnie definitely needs to apologize to the LGBT community. Why, Shawnette? Why apologize for what? Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. We will be discussing Genius Holy on Friday. Yes. So on Friday, we will be discussing this Friday. What day is that? Friday the 9th. We will be discussing season one of Genius, the Einstein episode. We will be discussing Einstein a little bit, but we will be discussing the women in his life and the part that they played in his success. And they definitely, when you watch this, I don't know if y'all have watched it, but when you do watch it, it is it's multiple episodes, so get to watching it. I know Einstein is because of patriarchy because of his genius and being a man, he is on this pedestal as being a genius and being one of the most intellectual men that the world have seen, and blah 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 blah. It's 10 episodes, yes. The most intellectual men, but definitely look at definitely get 1 through 5 or 1 through 6, I think. But what they don't tell you, because of patriarchy and the erasure of women's contributions to science and women's contributions to men's lives that they are in romantic relationships with or in business relationships with and social relationships with, they seem to have conveniently, along with his ego, it conveniently erases the women in his life and their contributions to his work and his success, not only as a physicist, but also as, climbing the ladder as a Jew in Germany. Some of the reason why he became who he is because he had a woman that was a social butterfly. And it's y'all, when y'all watch it, y'all get the reason. So I want to talk about the women in his life and how that has played out. And hopefully y'all will join me on Friday. He can be with whoever he wants. Don't care. I just stopped sending the message that there's something wrong. I don't know, Shawnette. I think I don't like when they do that. But if that's a part of their religion, I mean, what can we do? We expect them not, if they think that it's sinful and wrong, I think that's what they're going to say. You can't, like, you can't tell them to not say what they believe because that is their belief. They think it's sinful. And in their religion, sin is wrong. And so it's hard to tell a Christian who believes that a sin is wrong and believe homosexuality is wrong, a sin. It's hard to tell them not to say that it's wrong because that's a part of their situation. I wish that we could, but we live in a free country and people are allowed to have their beliefs. As I wish they wouldn't say that, but if that's what they believe, that's what they believe. Because we wouldn't want people to say that about us and our beliefs. Yeah, my family was like, Donnie did it, so can you. So it wasn't helpful. And I can see how that can be a problem. Somebody saying, I'm gay and I'm not living that lifestyle for Christ. And I'm accepting that I'm going to be alone. It spills over into the secular world. Yes, True. But that's because we live in a Christian society. I don't think what Donnie McClurkin says spills over into, you know, other places that don't have a Christian society at its helm. They're just now giving Rosalind Franklin, the woman whose research led to discovery of DNA, X, her things over Watson's old racer's ass. Yes, so we can talk about those things this Friday because I think that's quite interesting. Um, but yes, y'all, this is an amazing conversation. I loved it and Enjoyed it. I just randomly got on here, but I'm gonna head off because I am hungry. So yes, make sure y'all thumbs up. It's like 40 people watching, and it's only 34 thumbs up. Thumbs up. um, but yes, it's Monday, and yeah, I will see y'all Friday, or if something comes up and I want to talk about it in between that time, if I'm bored. But definitely Friday, we are watching Genius, the first season about Einstein. Why you think the guy from Bridgerton isn't coming back? Oh, I don't know. I haven't looked into that. What's the question, Cyan? Good night, Money. Bye, Zay. What's the question? Do you remember the summer was gone in September? Okay, my question is why is it that all these people advocating against children transitioning claim that parents are forcing their kids to be trans? Like is this a white people thing? I don't get it. Um, I don't think that that's what's happening. I think that's just the narrative that's being sold. That there is a couple of things that these are abusive parents that are allowing their children to transition, and this is a part of an abuse. The narrative that they are that narrative appeals to the idea that children don't have agency. The ideal that children don't have an agency, that children don't know what their gender identity is, that children don't, and they're hoping that people, that's just like Lil Bootsy saying, oh, don't cut his dick off, man. Don't cut his dick off, man. They don't understand that you can't get a sex change before you're 18. So they are trying to imply that children are getting sex changes too early, and that's actually not the case. Unless they be cisgender and heterosexual. Right. So when you're young, you can know that you're heterosexual. You can know that you're cisgender. But if you're anything else, no, you can't know that. But it's under the false pretenses that kids are out here getting their dicks cut off at 12 or hysterectomies at 12 when that's actually not the case. You can't get a sex change in America um, before before you're 18. I think the youngest person to get a sex change was Kim Petras, but that was years ago, and she lives in Holland. She lives in a whole nother country. She doesn't live in. They refer to chemical castration purely as castration, and they don't understand They also don't understand that blockers, what normally happens is when a kid is going through a process of figuring out whether they want to transition, da 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 da, they really just start them off with blockers to stop the hormone, the puberty thing from happening until, which gives them enough time for them to decide and figure stuff out. And then once they figure it out, then we're going to get them on a regimen of estrogen and da 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 da, and we're going about the life until you get to 18, and then you can go through your surgery change, which we saw on Jazz Jennings, Jazz Jennings TV show. She was actually the person who is showing us how it works, how it all, like we saw her grow up, not get a sex change when she was little because she couldn't. And then she grows up to be old enough to get it, and she gets it. Got it? So we actually see how it works. And so the narrative that they are stopping children from transitioning at a younger age, mutilating their body, that's just a narrative out of ignorance. And so that's just a tactic of the right to be able to scare. It's a scare tactic to scare people into supporting children not transitioning. And so Zaya Wade is like the black ass Jazz Jennings. Definitely more. She's coming with way more resources, and she's coming with way more notoriety than Jazz. Jazz slowly creeped up to where she is now because she comes from a poor family. Zaya Wade is coming from a rich, very popular, masculinized family. Like this isn't, she's coming from an elite athlete's family, which makes it more sensationalized. Yeah, she's coming with a lot more privileges than Jazz in regards to her status in culture. But yes, she is now she is Zaya Wade. She is the first black young trans youth coming up with this level of platform. There has been other black youth, trans youth that that have been showcased around the country. There's a particular one with a black mom that's coming out of Seattle. She's really, really cool and nice. I think her name is, I can't remember her name. I'm not going to slaughter it. But her mom is so cool and so nice. But I think that in Seattle. Yes. But she's going to be the first black one that has this massive platform, which I'm so excited about. She's about to be sickening on y'all. She's about to preach on y'all. Like, they advocates against medical mutilation, but treat non-passable trans people who don't get any surgeries like circus freaks in society make it make sense. They just don't want you to exist. I'm sorry, that's just what it is. They don't care if you're young, old, passable, unpassable. It doesn't really matter. They just don't want you to exist. They don't want you to exist. They don't want you to be able to transition. They don't want you to be able to do anything. They want you to not exist. And so they are trying to do whatever's in their power to stop trans people from existing. And some tactics are going to be started down when they're young, and some tactics is going to be how we treat you when you're older. It's going to be, they're going to have all these ways to try to do it. Especially now that the gay people are kind of like living their cis heteronormative life. They're mimicking cis heteronormativity. They're like, oh, we can get married so we don't have any cares of the world. So now the new frontier is trans people. Gay people are kind of like, oh, we're coming in with society. We can get married. We got the benefits of getting married. We're kind of becoming a cultural norm. Not totally, but you feel what I'm saying? They're coming into where they no longer, it's kind of like when we think about interracial relationships. It used to be like seeing an interracial relationship. It was like, oh my God, it's an interracial relationship. It's like, whoa. They're together, da 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 da. But now when we see interracial relationship, it's like literally nothing. Like we're like, oh, okay, I guess no tea. we're coming into that fold when it comes to gay people. Not totally. I know I'm not saying that it is exactly like that, but we're coming into the era where gayness is not this unseen, secret, taboo, scary thing anymore. It's actually becoming quite common. And so what comes with that commonness, that commonality is less shock and more comfort for them. And so, and less attacks, not saying that they totally are not attacked, but just to give you an idea, there was 100 so far. Well, no. But the number is probably last 2 weeks ago. The number of anti-LGBT bills being brought to state levels was 108. 75 of that 108 was anti-trans bills. So think about that. Almost a fourth of 3/4 of the bills is attack on us. It's not an attack on gay folks. So yes, there are some attacks on gay people, but the transness is the new frontier to rile up the right-wing base. To rile up the right-wing base, and that's the new thing. So yes. Well, all right. Oh, this weekend. But then that goes in, and then that goes into the hypocrisy too. Think about it. Like we think about what's his name? Waka Flocka. He had so much to say about Zaya Wade and surgeries and da 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 da. But then when Charlie, his stepdaughter, comes out as gay, it's like, oh, okay, like it's nothing, and I don't care, and I'm accepting, and I'm going to be in her corner, and da 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 da. There's a hypocrisy in that. There's a hypocrisy in how you meddle in other folks' children's business, but have so many opinions, but then you don't want people to have opinions about your child, and it's kind of hypocritical. I wanted to kind of mention that too. They have so much to say when it's about somebody else, but when it's in theirs, oh, you flip. And I'm glad that you flip. Glad that you flip. That's not a negative. That's okay. But we're going to acknowledge that hypocrisy. I'm glad Charlie got somebody that accepts her, a stepfather that accepts her. Absolutely. Continue to do that. But mind your business when it comes to other folks' kids. But yeah. Yeah, he's stupid. But yes, y'all, I'm starving. So that's my answer to your question. I will talk to y'all either sometime this week. What's your thoughts on transplant sports? I've actually already talked about that in, I don't know, a recent video. I don't know exactly what video it was, but I have already talked about that in a recent video. You can just go back to like some of my most recent posts where we talked about it. As a trans person, I believe that we do have a physical advantage over cis females. So I agree we shouldn't compete. I think that's because you don't have I don't think you have if you just want me to give you a quick answer, neither one of the sides have evidence to prove without a shadow of a doubt. And so it needs more evidence. So I literally have talked about everything. Like if the physical advantage that you're talking about doesn't exist when you put hormones in the body, there is certain sports that the physical advantage goes down enough to be equal, but then there's certain sports that the physical advantage does not go down enough to be equal. Because the physicality of certain sports is different. Sometimes it has something to do with some advantage with your skeletal structure, which does not change with hormones, and physical, all the tracks and feels. Yes, that's one. I've discussed it a lot. But there are certain sports where hormones being administered to a trans woman takes her physical advantage down, even if she had one to begin with. But it takes her physical advantage down. But there's some sports that it doesn't. And there's so many variations in sports, the actual sports that we are talking about them competing in. So track is going to be different than javelin throwing. It's going to be different than swimming. It's going to be different than basketball. It's going to be different than football. When we talk about sports, there are so many different types of sports that the physical advantage, the range, is too many variables for you to be on one side or the other. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, because neither one of them have enough research to support the advantage and the lack of the fairness and the safety to support neither one of the sides. Like the more conservative side that say they shouldn't play, and the more progressive side that say they should. Neither one of those sides have enough evidence to prove it without a shadow of a doubt, with on all across the spectrum of sports, that they have an advantage or a disadvantage. That's just the facts of the matter. There's not enough evidence to prove either one of them right. And so if you are ignoring that, that there's no research to prove on both sides, then you are being disingenuous, no matter what side you're on, whether you're on the trans side or you're on the more conservative side. If you're not accepting the fact that there's not enough evidence, then I think there's another reason, which I think is transphobia, that you are trying to kick trans people out of sports. Cis women have such a range of hormone levels too. That plays a big part of it. I have PCOS, and according to doctors, I have too much testosterone for a female level. It's so many variables. We look at how they did Caster Semenya. Caster Semenya is a cisgender woman who has a condition to where she produces a lot of testosterone. And they tried to make her that's a physical advantage, a natural physical advantage that she has. And I've talked about this multiple times, that gives her an advantage over her runners. And so they tried to make her do drugs to bring her testosterone level down, even though her levels is natural. But they didn't do that to Michael Phelps. And I have made this point multiple times. Michael Phelps, who has a physical advantage, his body produces 50% less lactic acid. So therefore, he's less prone to fatigue. So he can just swim and swim and swim and swim and swim and swim. Other swimmers don't have this advantage, but they're not making him take medicine to equalize his lactic acid. But when it's this track runner, this black woman running track, they're trying to fucking make her take medicines to dim down her advantage. But they're not doing it to this white man who is swimming and who is smoking these other swimmers. Like, this isn't fair. And then these are cisgender people. Nobody is bringing this shit up when it comes to the trans topic. So it makes me feel like you are, if you're totally against trans people doing sports and not taking in consideration how they don't care about it in this advantage that y'all care about so much. Y'all didn't care about it with Michael Phelps. Y'all don't care about these advantages when these other realms. If you really want to be fair, let's do that shit all across the board. You know, it just makes it different. It makes it feel like you're just being transphobic. It makes it feel like you're just, and I'm not a person that's going to play the transphobic card if I don't think you're being transphobic. I'm a trans person who is not just on the side of trans people on this issue. I'm not like, oh, trans people should be able to play. That's not who I am. For me, for me, it's not something that I think we need more research. It's not yay or nay on either side. So I'm on the fence. But I'm also not rooted in transphobia. So I'm not gonna be like, oh, I don't think trans people should do that. And I don't have turfy mindset either. I know some weak ass I know some cisgender women that'll smoke the hell out of me. When we're playing basketball or playing football or whatever, if they're sporty chicks, they will. I'm not a sporty person, so I'm not. They can wear me out. So I just know that there are so many variables in this conversation in this subject matter that if you're not acknowledging those variables and you're just like, no, it's unfair, then I think it's your transphobia just popping up. And where does physical advantage stop in sports? Should there be a height limit in basketball? That all it starts to be a slippery slope. Should Maolene be able to play with Isaiah Thomas? Yes, it starts to be muscle mass limit in football. So we do that in other sports. Like we do that in boxing, because we have a heavyweight championship and a medium weight and a featherweight, because we know that if you put a heavyweight with a lightweight, that it can be dangerous. And so they have separated them in classes, and it's so many variables that it just kind of like, I don't know. It's strange, y'all. It's a strange topic, but I have talked about it multiple times, y'all. Multiple videos. But my basic stance is it's not enough research for either one of them to be totally for sure that it's fair and safe. Because that's what it's about. What it should be about. Is it fair and is it safe? But then, when we think about in Connecticut, those trans girls that was running, the girls that was suing them, one of the girls, not all of them, but one of them that was suing them, end up beating the trans girls in the race for the championship. For the little whatever local little situation, end up beating the trans girl. So you're literally suing this trans girl, and while you're suing her, you beat her twice. It's strange. But yes, all right, y'all. I'm out. I'm about to go eat. I am starting. My stomach is rumbling. But yes, I hope that answered your question, Christina Strokes. And this might come up in a later video. Why is nobody talking about Chris Stokes? Because your name reminded me of that. Chris Stokes and his Quindon Tolver just passed away in a car accident on the 1st of April. And he had come out. I know we looking at Raz B like he just crazy, because when he make the allegations of Chris Stokes and them and Marcus Houston like molesting him, but Quindon Tolver who was also signed to that label, has come out and started talking about them molesting him too. And so it's starting to be like, not that it wasn't legitimate before, but why are we not talking about Chris Stokes? Is it old news, or it just feels like it's kind of being swept under the rug? But anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. Maybe we can talk about it another time. But all right. I'll see y'all later.